If you're new here, let me quickly set the context before we start. On this channel, we look at horse racing through data, race structure, and risk, not tips or hype. Instead of jumping straight to who will win, we slow things down and first ask, which runners cannot win and why? You'll see an Excel sheet on screen during the stream. Think of this as the engine that runs the analysis here. It's a proprietary model we've developed to understand how a race is shaped, not just who looks good on a race card. By combining pressure, pace, distance, class, and competition, the engine helps us see where a race is stable and where forcing a pick would be risky. When the signals line up, we act. When they don't, the engine tells us to step back and explain the risk instead. You can use the timestamps below to follow the analysis race by race. Welcome to the Grandstand Gazette, data-driven horse racing analysis, educational use only. No betting advice. Full disclaimer in the description.
Good morning. Today is 1st of July 2026 and we're going to be doing some analytics today. We are at Sandown and today we are at Sandown Lakeside. The ground rating is heavy. It's heavy 8 and we've got 8 races here today. The last finishing mile is about 400 meters and this is a little uphill. We are going to be using, this track has two different segments. One is the hillside, which is this side of the track, and the other one is the lakeside, which is this side of the track. So we are going to be using this particular circuit today, and we will see what we can do here. This track generally offers anywhere between 30% to 40% on the odds, and the rest we will have to navigate through, and we will see what we can do here. Welcome to Grandstand, and we do horse racing analytics, and we do that in 2 steps. First, we try and identify the best horses through physics, mathematics, a little bit of understanding of horse racing. And once we have identified the best horses, that's when we take a look at the horses at the paddock when we get the live stream from the paddock or the gates. If we find that all the horses that we have chosen are looking good and good to go with, we wait for the results to validate them. But if we find that there are better horses at the paddock and there are circumstantial changes, we often give it a shout out and highlight those. So we are here with the first one, which is a 1300 meter open 2-year-old fillies, and we will see what the market snapshot says, and then we'll talk about the horses. One, two, three, four. So yeah, ideally 2 should be winning, but 1 is the favorite. Why 1 is the favorite is because of the form line. Okay, now This one is a little tricky because there are horses with negative leverages, and we can see that the one is good, but the problem is here. We'll see if that works out, but ideally two should be winning. Okay, ideally two should be winning. The problem with two is this, that two is uh, a little dicey with the form line. One is in a better shape. The leverage is high because this horse has got races, and it has actually won one of the races, and all that is true. And the weight is the right 57.5 for a neutral is okay. This thing can work on its own, but where the dicey part um, is how the jockey is. Okay, so we've done some adjustment with the jockey last time when we were racing at Rosehill. It was clear that some of the adjustments needs to be done. I've done that through the JST, which is the jockey sort. We will see how that works today, and the ground is heavy, so I'm not expecting a remarkable results, but we should be getting results. We'll see how that works.
Hammer down, but just drews it all day long. It was a barrel of laughs in Melbourne, but look, we do have a heavy 9. Chuck's been playing pretty well of late, though. No disadvantage, likely up first few, though, on the Lakeside circuit.
And you like Burning Hearts in this first, debuting off 2 recent Cranbourne jump-out placings.
Yeah, a couple of nice trials. And what's happening a lot with these 2-year-olds late in the season, the debutants are winning a lot of these races, and the horse that this guy trialled against, Lucky Brook, was one of said debutant winners at Caulfield on Saturday. On an odd track, sure, but looks to have a bit of a future. So I've learnt that way. Signed by a Kiss and Hell's Angel, they come through the same race, won by Vivid Storm. We'll get a line on that form. That horse is an acceptor for the 2-year-old final race, Flemington on Saturday final. So I think Hell's Angel was the better run. Stormed home, was only on debut, and has a 3-kilo swing on Signed by a Kiss. So I hear what you're saying about the drift, Hell's Angel, but I have to take what I see at face value, and I think, as I say, she was the better run. Signed by a Kiss is certainly a danger. Looks ready to win again. And Glaze trialled okay without raving. 3-4-1-2.
Like with the bookies, it's 370 into 350 for Signed by a Kiss. On Glaze 4 to 420, Burning Hearts 440 and solid. Delara is 650 into 550 back to 6. Heller's Angels 550 out to 7 back into 650, and Tagabella 850 out to 9 back to $8.50. So they're specking a few, but there's nothing dramatic there, Gunnar.
Yeah, it's an interesting little race, isn't it? A couple of newbies have trialled, well to quite well. and a couple we've seen on race day. And as I say, we will get a guide on the format of that Caulfield Heath track run. The winner, Vivid Storm, accepts for Flemington on Saturday.
Gate, welcome back, Gate.
Looks a terrific card, Flemington Saturday, but let's find some winners today first.
Burning Hearts is your top pick here. A Cool as a Beal filly. Set them back just $26,000. Hearts Ablaze, the mum, won 3 races in Adelaide and 2 in Darwin.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, this girl was good. She showed some of that family ability in her trial. She hit the line nicely. Mentioned Lucky Brook, who was good in that heat and won Caulfield Saturday.
Don't forget about the tab special this afternoon, taking in Sandown, Randwick and Eagle Farm in the first couple of races. Place a fixed odds win bet on any runner. If you run second, tab will pay you out as a winner in bonus bets. As we say hi to Matt Hill ahead of the first.
And the rail and the true on the smaller loop. The Lakeside set for the first at Sandown. Ready to go. And away. Heller's Angel again, slow to begin. Goes back to the end with Anglais second last, signed by a Kiss the Best a leap from Tagabella. And then came getting to third, Burning Hearts in the orange jacket. A length and 3/4 away on the inside. Then is Delara as they settle. Now getting a bit closer, about 2 off the lead. They were followed by the outside Anglais. And at the tail of the field, Heller's Angel. Heading towards that top corner. And it's signed by a Kiss and Tagabella. Tagabella just pressuring the favourite a little bit more as they head towards that corner and the downhill run. Burning Hearts is third, and then came along the inside Delara. They're not going that hard. They were followed in second last by Anglais, and at the tail of the field is Heller's Angel. So signed by a Kiss, kicked up on the inside downhill at the 650 and led by a neck. To the outside Tagabella. Then came Burning Hearts, who now pushed out 3 wide. Delara next the inner. They were followed by Anglais and Heller's Angel, not handling the conditions at the moment as they come around the corner. 400 metres to go. Signed by a Kiss from Tagabella. Delara's trying to bullock into the clears, starting to extricate out now. Burning Hearts the outside, and then came Anglais trying to wind up. Signed by a Kiss under pressure as Tagabella. Burning Hearts got it with Delara up on the inside. 100 metres to go. Burning Hearts just in front. It's a good go. Delara's kicking on the inside and Tagabella's the hidden nose in the middle. They go towards the line. Oh, it's a real head bobber. Anglais made it interesting too. What a terrific finish to the first race on the card. It's a photo between Burning Hearts and Delara. Tagabella between them may have just jipped out, and Anglais the outside. Terrific 4-way go. Then came Heller's Angel and signed by a Kiss. What a terrific race. Burning Hearts getting the better of them, but then Delara kicked in the green, Tagabella in the middle, and then Anglais joined in as well. Terrific go. Burning Hearts, I think, will get there, but we just wait on the photo, and it'll be Burning Hearts a nose. Burning Hearts a nose from Delara, and then Tagabella in a photo for third with Anglais, and a few more strides. Anglais would have made it really interesting. So in a field of 6, that's a terrific finish. But Burning Hearts has got there. Number 3, Joe Bowditch for Gavin Betchgood, the first starter, the filly by Cool as a Beal out of Hearts Ablaze. Will
Get the cash and send you off to a winning start, Mr. Gately, albeit narrowly in a ripper finish.
Yeah, no, we'll take it for sure. Yeah, we sort of just last. Gee, I haven't seen a blanket finish in a 2-year-old race this season. Much jokes. Look, she was good.
Jimmy, welcome back.
She did I don't think she had any idea what she was doing. She didn't quicken when under full pressure, then built momentum, and then when she hit the front, she didn't know what to do. So the win was narrow, but had some merit.
And it's 3, 5, 6 and 2 with Sandown getting underway. Lakeside track action has 7 races to come. 7th event from the Sale Greyhounds. Good odds Mario is $2.40 into $2.20 as the favourite. Where's the Blues? Smooth Tiger is the second pick. 3.
So I said out of this one, because things were a little dicey. The one, which was the favorite. So what we have done here today is we were having a few issues regarding how the jockeys are being placed. Okay. So in that respective, what I've done is I've added a column called JST. Now this will sort the jocks. Okay, this will sort the jocks. The highest one is not good enough. I mean, not the ideal one. Okay, so that's the problem. If the favorite is on the highest, that is not the ideal one. What was confusing in this one? So ideally, the two should have won. Okay, but what was happening is the two was not in the right form line. Okay, a lot of negative leverage horses, the two was not in the right form line, and that's where the three with the -1 and that thing came in. But ideally it should have been two. So we'll if you look at how the jocks are, so that's the lowest, then this is the lowest, then this is the lowest. Okay, so that's how the placings are also. Okay, the 6 also got there, so 3, then the 5 also got there for some reason, and then the 6. So I stayed out of this because of how the negative leverages were. And one more thing that I have to mention here, we look at the leverage, but I think it is more important to look at the negative leverage in each and every race. The leverage column is more important for which is a negative leverage, not for which is the highest leverage. The highest leverage we can measure in multiple ways, but the negative leverages are the ones which are very dicey. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how that works. So that is a bad idea. Through the JST, if this is the highest, then that's a bad idea. So what exactly is happening is we have the horses which are basically either up in class, down in class, and all those things are happening. So we will what I have figured out is that we have a column for the jocks which is measuring the body weights. And when we are measuring the body weights, this is more accurate than this, because here, when we are measuring the horse body weight, it is fluctuating between anywhere from 20 kilograms to 40 kilograms to 60 kilograms. I mean, a horse which is showing the heaviest horse and the other horse, there could be a difference between 40 kilograms. But here, it is within the group of at a max 6 to 10 kilograms. So we have adjusted that here because they are humans. Okay, these are horses. So when the weight fluctuates, so if this is a 400 kilo horse and this is showing lower, the difference could be 40 kilograms. But here, when we are looking at that, the difference is at the max 10 kilograms, 6 to 10. So what I have done is we've measured that here. We'll go to the next. One, 7, 8, and 10 scratched from race number 2. 1, 7, 8, and 10. Gate numbers are okay. 2, 5, 4, and 3. Sorry. So what is happening is this, okay? When we go through the PP, it shows which are the top horses. Like here, it was showing which was the top horses here. And then it'll show what is the structure of the jock against that horse. So 2 is on the lower side, and that's the jock, okay? What is in favor is the weight, okay? But that's the structure of the jock, which is on a very high side. These are on a very high side. Now let's take a look at what is happening here. So these are the top, okay? These 2 are high. This is the 1, okay? Out of these 2, probably this one is doing very, very bad, but it is the same arrangement of -5, -5, okay? And that's exactly what happened here on the 3. What is the difference between 12 and this is this, that the factor remains that it is not doing well. So now the question is about these 2 and 12. So now the 3 basically is doing very well, okay? But the jock is a mismatch. We can also see it here. The jock is a mismatch here. 12 out of these 3 horses has the right arrangement with the jock. These are on the higher side. And then here it is on 6, which is lower, so it is not doing well. It is losing weight, but it also has the arrangement. Now, how this thing might play is something that we'll see, but 12 is not there within the odds. So we'll play 12 EW, probably. We'll see how that works. Both of these are like that. This one is not doing well, okay? Both are 1-1. Those are the lowest. Now here, this was the lowest. It did not work. It did not work. Why it did not work is probably the form line, where we have got a little bit of hint here, but this was flat on the 3rd line and it came 4th. The 6 actually knocked it out. So what we are going to do is we are going to wait and we'll see what happens with the 12. The 12 probably is something which needs to be looked out. Now, coming to 12 and 3, they carrying same pressure lines, okay? They're carrying same pressure line. but this is doing a little better. Jockey is on a difficult scale. This is like that, and jockey is on a easier scale. Hey, Jimmy! Gate. Horse is too heavy for the average horse. Yes, it is heavy 8, but I when I started off, it was not heavy, and then I did not look what was going on, and when I checked, it became heavy. So, but that's actually a good thing, because we have to I personally want to test this, wanted to test this at Randwick, I mean Sandown, then Randwick, Flemington, and if we get this thing correct, the next is Mooney Valley, which we need to test. If we get all these 3-4 tracks right, then we will have something concrete going on. We'll see how that works. This one got through. Did not happen here. But that happened. 26, 25. See, ideally, it's a 1600 meter. Okay, so ideally, the horse that actually should win is 3 with the form line. Okay, but the jock is has disadvantages over the jock of 12. Now the 12 has a disadvantage of form line. So ideally, the horse should win. Then it is the jock. Okay, the horse should win. 3 should win. Then probably it will fall on the jock. This one is getting into negative, doesn't have form lines, so that's not the thing. But if we look at these two horses, okay, where are the advantages and where are the disadvantages? So this one has a form line, which is the advantage. Jockey is the disadvantage. Base is the advantage. Base pressure. It will have a good start, probably. It will have a good start, but the finishing is higher on this. Okay. So those are the minute details, but what we need to fix and understand is this, that how things are dependent on jock and how the jock can work things out. Okay, how things are dependent. Like here, it was clear on the jock, but the form line was not there. Okay. Instead, the 3 went through because there was a little bit of stuff going on here in the midfield. So that went through. And it was the right arrangement as well. Here, the right arrangement is this guy, the 6. Okay. The jock is also good. But it doesn't have the form line. It's absolutely missing. So that's the thing that we will take a note on the 6 if this thing gets placed. Okay. And then how the 12 probably is on the third line. 12 will play third. I mean, the 2 will play third because of the jock. So it is between these two horses, which are 3 looked at. Ideally, the 3 has advantage, but that advantage gets negotiated here. Here it was 3 and 5, both with the start. Okay. Then 6 came in, and the 2 failed with the jock. The one failed with the jock. I mean, with the disadvantage on the jock. So the why the two failed is basically they're 2-year-old fillies, and even though it was right, but it just did not work here. Okay.
Heavy 8 sail last time out.
Yeah, she was dominant. I don't think I missed your meeting staying afloat line either, with the water getting near the race course there. But look, she was terrific. First up, 1100 is never going to be her go. It was 11 to 1400, so pretty sharply up in trip second up, and just raced away. Pretty soft wind. Rider pretty kind on her the last bit, so still plenty of upside with her. And I heard Tim Ryan this morning saying, yeah, we went up $8 after scratchings. Whoops, you know, win, lose or draw, that's ridiculous. So hopefully we can get land one on Timmy and the team here. She was well back. She beat a key rival in Sensori, who was in this race, and you know that margin was, you'd think, too great for Sensori to turn her, and even with the blinkers going on there. I do think both Himalayan and Malays are dangers, and they're certainly, you know, the better prices. Himalayan didn't really have much hope at Flemington against the pattern last time up on speed. It was a real swoopers day. Probably that she got too far back, so we need some Goldilocks in between, too far forward and back for her. Malays, well, if you beat King's Reflection, you're in the game, and go back 3 runs, and she's good second to Himalayan. So there you go, that ties the pair of those together. No surprise, there's been a nibble for Tessera, who I have promoted after those scratchings. 254.12.
Let's have a look at what's happening lace with the bookies. Last 15 minutes, 260 into 245. It's back to $2.50 for off their perch. Himalayan 5 into 460 back to $4.80. And Tizair, number 12, is the move to beat both. $10 into $8. One on the same day as off their perch and did it in style out front at sale. Went back in trip last time out.
Yeah, that's right, and obviously she's a bit deeper into the prep. She's only had the 4 runs, but she was 1600 back to 1400. She relished that. She led, she raced away. Perhaps a little less substance on the clock, but on wet tracks, those relative times can be very tricky.
But off their perch, Keen is the bet of the day. 3 weeks off. Now for the 1600 first time. In form yard, though, Patrick Payne.
It's in Sensori. Now going into the stalls.
Sorry, Gator, don't know what happened there. Patrick Payne, your top pick and special.
Yeah, that's. I always listen to Matt Hill over me, but I don't think 1600 will be a problem given her breeding. We'll see how we go here.
Let's get to Matt Hill now for the second.
Vobus bonus is on offer
Yeah,
here in the
Gate.
second race on the program too.
Today it's a
Always pays
heavy
to
track.
race in Victoria. The field's
Got to
set,
be
race
careful.
2, and away. And Melise towards the inside away. Okay. Jumping well out past the centre. Tissair is going to lead off their perch as they try and find their positions. And there's a real wall still across the track. A gap then to Beautifully, who's a lot closer today. Also Himalayan and Sensori just behind the speed. Belize next on the inside, third last. They were followed by Don't Doubt Dare. And at the tail of the field is Star of Rossa. So they complete 400 metres. It's now going to the lead off their Perch, the favourite, by a length and 3/4 Beautifully, and third on the rails, Tessair. Then came in fourth place Himalayan, Belize fifth the fence. A length and 3/4 away at the 1,000 metres, Sensori. Then came along the inside, Don't Doubt Dare and Star of Rossa last as they head towards the halfway marker. The leader is off their Perch, trying to control the tempo by 3/4 of a length. Second is Beautifully as they're about to descend the hill at the 700 metres. Two further back is Tessair, a length and a half away Himalayan. Then Belize the fence. Well, back in the field is Sensori, Don't Doubt Dare and Star of Rossa being chased along. Up towards the corner, off their Perch the leader, 450 metres to go. Hasn't had a bad lead from Beautifully. Now around the outside, Sensori is coming with a searching run. Tessair is stoked up too. Belize runs up behind those horses. And then came Himalayan off their Perch, has been grabbed by Beautifully. Belize over on the inside and Sensori is joining in too. As they reach the 200 metres, Sensori up to Beautifully, and then came Belize and Tessair. Sensori guided to the front at a double figure price is going to come away and has it won.
9.
Sensori 3 or 4 lengths in front, and that's a big win. Sensori
9,
first
3,
from Beautifully,
4.
Belize third, then Don't Doubt Dare as they come in at intervals. They get Tessair, Himalayan off their Perch got tired, and last Star of Rossa.
Sensori in a romp for Lachlan Neindorf, and it pays double figure odds across the totes. Now won 2 of 5 career starts, and the blinkers first time. A lift in the game today, Gator.
Yeah, look, different horse with the blinkers. I'm going to estimate she's turned around about 15 lengths on off their Perch from the clash at Sale. So, yeah, whether or not it was the
9. Okay. 9, 3, 4, 11. Okay, that happened. 9 won, 12 did not get placed. 2 did not win here. 11 came in 4th. 6 also did not get there because of the form line. This is affecting 20. Okay. We'll go to the next. Ten has been scratched. 4182. Ideally, 8 should win. Ideally, 8 should win. These are, the jockeys are heavy on these, but there are no form line on the 9, on the 6. Okay. These are good ones, but there's no form line. So things can go a little haywire. But between these two horses, if we look at 4, that is on a higher side. So this one did not get there. The 11 came in on 4th. Okay. The 5, forget about it. It did not happen. So what might be happening is we also have to get the load from the gate. Okay, the 9 won because of the inner gate. Okay, though 12 was on the lower side, 9 was from the inner gate. Okay, and this was on 57 chasing 0.5. Here it was neutral and it was on 59. So 59. So that happened. Okay, that was 2.5. The jock was like that, not winning. 4 was not winning. 12, which had the opportunity, did not win. The same thing happened here also. The 2 did not win. Here also, the 12 did not win because of the gate, probably. Here, 8 is good. Okay, 8 has the form line, 1600 meter, same stuff. Between these two, there is no comparison in the jock. Now, where things might play and how things might play is, we will see the 9 here also is on the lower side. This is a good horse, but these are probably the weakened horses. Okay, these are probably weakened horses, and here they are. Here we are getting the numbers, but they're not in a form line. So when we do this, they are actually the top horses, but this will give us a more robust understanding on weekends. So yeah, like here, that's on the 5th line. Okay, that's like 5th. But these horses which are there above this, they do not have the right form line starting from here. Okay, starting from here. Now that's a 56, jumping to 2.5 from gate number 13 on a 1600 meter. Bad idea. It has the body weight, but when we look at this one, it's almost the same, and the jockey is in a better state. This is 56 jumping 2.5. This is 56 jumping just 0.5, where this is the down here. Now, what are the other things can happen is that 9 is strong. That 6 is also good, the right jockey in place, but here we have some other horses, but they're very wide. So 8 I don't know how the 9 is going to play, but we'll see how the 8 plays. I think it is 8. Gate, not liking 1. How about 4 and 11? 4, the jock is like this. They did not get through, okay? They did not get through. The 4, and they are on the higher side. So that probably is not the thing. And that's that part of the story. 8 is a stable one, okay? 4 and 11, they are both on the higher side. Both on the higher side for the jock. So what is happening, Gate, is this, that when we are measuring the body weight of the jock and then we are aligning that with the horse, so it's the idea has to be shifted a little bit. So when we look at the race card, we have two ways in our thought process. One is which horse is going to win. And the second thing is who is riding that horse. Okay. The first thing is which horse is going to win, which is the right question. And the second question is who's riding that horse. Now, ideally, a top weight should win, which is the right odd. But the top weight is with a jock who cannot win. So that's when you have to navigate. Okay. This is where the 9 came in. The 12 did not get there. But if you look at how things are, okay, so ideally the 12 should have gotten there. It did not get there. The 9 got there. Now, if you look at the arrangement, okay, the 6, which had the arrangement, was in a bad state, cannot win. The 12, which I thought would get in, did not win. Okay. The 3, which should have actually won with the form line, also did not win. So why? What happened? Now you look at how this side of the story is. So this is a 59.5 chasing 2.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. The jockey is on a higher side. This one, the jockey is on a higher side. This one, the jockey was on a lower side, but the horse was also on a lower side. So then it is here. Okay. These things has to be fine-tuned. I have not done this yet, but they have to be fine-tuned. So this was lower, but the horse was also lower. So it fell on 9. These are higher resistance for the jocks. Okay, 5, 5. These are higher resistance for the jocks. 2 was the right. Lower 1. 1, 1, 2. This one was not doing well. This one was not a match, did not keep up. So it went to the third one. Okay. Then it went anywhere else. Now you look here. So 4 and 11 is on the higher side. Now we have a lot of lower ones. Okay. So it starts from there and up till here. So now if you look through like this, so 4 is like that. So 4 probably is not the thing. Now the lowest one is here, but that's also a 56. And this one is also a 56. Comes in between this one, which is a 1, and this one, which is a 2, but it is from gate number 13. Okay, the 6 is not doing well. Okay, it has the jock, it is a fantastic jock, but it is a 56. Now if a 56 is chasing 1.5, a 59 is also chasing 1.5, but it is getting into negative, and the jock is on the higher side. So now it comes to 57. All right, 57 is on lower side. There is a chance that the 7 will go through if the 8 fails, because 8, the jock, if this is 57, this is 56. There's a problem with the form line. If that is not the thing, then it is here. Then it will go wherever. All right, then it can go to 2, then it can go to anywhere else, but that's the measurement. So this one is the highest, but it is getting a negative. The jock is a mismatch. The jock is a fantastic one, but it is on, it's not doing pretty well. Here it's a 56.5, not doing well. So if that's not that, then it is here on the 9, but the 9 is also like the same, 56. The jock is better, the horse is also better, but doesn't have a form line. So it's here. Now let's talk about 3. 3 is on a higher side on the jock, so probably not that fit. 8 has the form line with the right jock. This one has the jock, same weight, capabilities, but no form line. Okay, the 9 that I'm talking about. Okay, then it is here. This one has the jock, but again the form line is missing. So yes, 8 is in a better spot, unless we are missing out on something. On these ones, they're very wide, and from here the 5 is a check, but again no form line. So that's that part of the story. So 8 stands good. Okay, 8 stands good. Has the jock, no form line, doesn't have the jock, getting into negative. This is the 7, which is there. So we'll see how that works. All those things are possible. This one, but they unfortunately they don't have the form line. So how things will work, we'll see. Okay, if you look at 8 has a form line, has the right jock. This one has the jock, doesn't have the form line. This is on a little higher side, this is on a higher side, this is on a lower side for the jock, but doesn't have the form line. So this is good, but before it touches here or the 2, there could be some surprises that will get in, especially between these 3 horses. If we look at what is going on, so fantastic. Okay, jock is fantastic, but it's a 56 jumping 1, form line is missing. These 2 horses, 1.5 from 59, jock is missing, plus getting negative, doesn't have a form line between these 2. Okay, that's a 57, this is a 56, has a jock, doesn't have a form line, but this one still gets the advantage, this 7. And then here it is 8, so it has the form line but doesn't have the thing. So we'll see how that works. I think it is 8. what is happening is this. If we look at two back-to-back races, then what we need to fine-tune is this particular section where it was the lowest. Though it had the right jock, it did not do that thing that it should have done. What happened was here, which is the lower one. 6 could not do it because 6 was anyway getting into trouble. The 9 went through, even it was a little higher, and the horse was bad. Why? Because of the weight, all right, the capacity. This basically is what it says about who the horse is. Okay. We will get this thing a little more defined so that we do not have to rely on the form line, because that's where we get burnt most of the time. Which one has form line? Now that burns. So here this is 4, which is like that. So we'll see it is also getting into negative. That's a 60, 0. We'll see how that works. Now, let's see.
But I think what's more important is just having him have every chance. So, look, no moral, but I think it was over the odds in those early markets. I think Perfect 10's a logical danger, great chase and win latest. Eleanor Jamont, there was some winning at Geelong. I'm not even convinced she found the best part of the track, yet she won easily. So can win again for sure. And Aliona was certainly next best. Markets suggesting that as well. 11-4-1-2.
Eleanor Jamont is the best back tab fix, 440 into 360, but Perfect 10 is now in fact joining at 460 into $3.60. So they are the two chief ones, the on topper and value bet for Gator. 10, 11 into 950 back to $11 street mark. Quick view there from this morning to now with a tab fix. Looking at the bookies, Eleanor Jamont is 390 into $3.60. Perfect 10, 350, 370 back to 360. Kafina has fans everywhere, number 3 for Jackson Radley, $13 into $11. And Street Lark, 12, 11. 12 into 10, just back to 11. So it's been specced everywhere, Gunner.
Yeah, there's a little nibble there. Look, she probably ran every bit as well as Perfect 10 2 runs ago when she had every chance, but that wasn't the case last time. So I don't think there's that much between them, but the market says there's a lot between them.
Pariah Pearl is 15 into $12, and or Aqua $21 into $19. Time to start thinking about the quaddie. They are races 5 through 8. Easiest way to get involved, scan that QR code on screen. All the Gator selections straight into the bet slip. 25% boost in bonus bets if he gets it. Third Sandown with Matt.
Third event. Racing now. Pariah Pearl in the centre jumped away well. Eleanor Dumont is showing good speed towards the inside, and Stupendous is also punching up. Eleanor Dumont led Stupendous and also Perfect 10. They're a length and a quarter or Aqua. And along the inside, also picking up some ground is Shadow, and she's a bit keen. A length and a half to Street Lark, Pariah Pearl, and then came Lisa Lass off the course. A length and a quarter away in the field is Gafina. Towards the back, Enchanted, Jenny, High Altitude, and Aeolian. So as they sort out their order, they're trying to slam on the brakes at the same time. The Shadow's going to zip up on the inside and take the lead. So with 1,000 metres to go, the Shadow led Eleanor Dumont Stupendous. Perfect 10 sticks back to fourth outside of Araqua. A length and a half to Lisa Lass, who's 3 wide. Street Lark the centre, and Aeolian's picked off a few on the inner. There's 4 behind it now. They are Pariah Pearl in company then with Gafina. Towards the end, Enchanted Jenny and High Altitude. So the leaders are Shadow. Down the hill now as they reach the 700 metres from Stupendous. Araqua third. Then came Eleanor Dumont, just being chased along fractionally before the corner. 2 lengths Perfect 10 Street Lark, Lisa Lass, a gap to Pariah Pearl, Aeolian, and then Gafina, Enchanted Jenny and High Altitude. Into the home runnings, a Shadow, 400 metres to go from Stupendous, who's about to give it the stare. 2 lengths Araqua, a long gap Eleanor Dumont, Perfect 10 down the outside, and then Street Lark. Stupendous couldn't get past the Shadow. Araqua was the next one to have a crack on the outside at the 200. It's Araqua up to Sir Shadow, then Perfect 10 Street Lark running on. Araqua 100 to go in front from Perfect 10, trying to eat into the margin. Araqua just in front and won. Araqua has won it from Perfect 10 Street Lark, Pariah Pearl. They were followed by Gafina, Aeolian running through the line, then Sir Shadow, Enchanted Jenny, Eleanor Dumont, well back Stupendous, Lisa Lass and High Altitude.
Or Aqua, home for Harry Coffey at big odds, 20.80 and $5.20, holding out Perfect 10. Street Lark runs well for Gately fans, and 6 will wind up in 4th position. 7, 4, 11 and 6 they'll be, dropping out of back-to-back Saturday assignments. Or Aqua pays big there, Gator.
Yeah, look, it's a big price, isn't it? I mean, obviously...
See the 7 beat. So the 7 beat 7, 4, 11 and 6. 7, 4, 11. And that also got there. 7, 4, 11 and 6. The 8 did not get there, where the 8 got beaten, okay? The 8 got beaten here. On the 7. Still higher. This one 59. Not happening. So this. This is a good horse, okay? This is a good horse. It should have won. Why it did not win is why the house is playing with the jocks. This is a good horse which should have won. I mean, that's a good one, but it's chasing 6.5 steps up, and that is how they're managing the jocks. So once we have that in the right, I was in 2 minds between the 8 and the 7. I chose the 8 because of the form line. That did not work. The 7 actually went through. We'll go to the next. Two has been scratched. We don't have to. 9, 7, 3 and 10. So now, what is this race? This is a 2400 meter. So generally, a 2400 meter, anything above 2000 meters are with the 5-year-old mares. That is the right arrangement. Okay. Anything above 2000 meter is, if you have a 5-year-old mare, those are the horses. Now the 9. The 9 is right and wrong at both at the same time. So 9 is a 5-year-old mare, which is right. It is going to be carrying the lowest weight, but it is also the lowest here. Okay, that's the drop. That is where it is coming from. The form line is good. The jock looks like that. And 12 is the highest drop. It is coming from 59.5. Okay, that's the highest drop. If you look at the jock, that is where it stands. Okay, so the 12 is a check. We'll see how the 12 gets placed. The 9 is the favorite. The odds are right, but the difference is in the jockey, all right? So if you look at what these two horses are, they are neck to neck. Here is the jock, here is the jock. Okay. These are on, this is a 7-year-old mare. We're not talking about that. These two are there. 9 is the favorite. So we'll see. 53. It comes to 53.5 from 54 by dropping that. And this one is the highest drop in class, which is coming from 59. But the actual capability is 53. So it is higher than this. Challenge is lower. Jock is stronger. And all that thing is there. So we'll see how that works. 9 and 12. 9 and 12. I was also looking at that. I was also looking at the 5. Quite possible. I mean, it's probably there in some form, the 5. I was also looking at the 5, but it has to somehow, I guess, what it has to play. I mean, we'll we'll figure this thing out. It is okay. What's going on is we need to figure out the difference that is going to play between the weekend and the weekday Wednesday. So if you remember the other day at Rose Hill, that was the one, okay? I'll pull out that race. Where was that? The LR. That was the listed race. Which one was the LR? Here. Okay. That thing came in second. All right. But 8 won because it had the arrangement. Okay. 8 won because it had the arrangement. So we'll see how that works. 8 won. That was the LR, and then it is here. This probably is there in some form. 9 is the favorite. So if that's 51. In that case, the 7 becomes the threat because it is higher than this string neutral. And that's a 6-year-old gilding. So this is gate number 10. 57. Randwick is taking the sweet time.
Lightning Man was only third up himself, out to 2,500 at Swan Hill. He won. He beat a horse called Schultze, who's here. Schultze then came out and won, beat another key rival in customer service. So it's all tied in really nicely with each other. Now, Empress of the Sun, good strong win latest, and she's building a really good wet track record. She claims down for an inform apprentice, so can make a case for a number of these, but more than happy 7 on top. Dangers mainly 3, 9 and 10.
Late figures with the bookies. Empress of the Sun, 15 minutes ago, framed at $2.80. It's currently at $3. Nico Front is $3.90 into $3.60, and the best back to beat it. Just a couple of nibbles at odds. Customer service number 6 is $13 into $12. JKN, another of the pain runners, 19 out to 20 into $18. Sister Pass number 8, 21, 26 back to 21. Aberfeldy Boy and Urban Outlook are both firmed by $10 late a piece as well. Nico Frod, your top pick. Offside blinkers go on for the first time. In import, this is its 7th Australian start. Still chasing the first Australian win.
Yeah, that's right. It's run well at Flemington in 3-year-old open grade this time last year was to that good mare Shocklets and then even competitive with Stop the Rock. You saw that horse win at Caulfield last week at cricket score odds. So, look, he's well placed. I think he's ready to win, happily on top.
Just a couple of runners being spec'd at odds, in particular JKN, which late with the bookies is now $20 into $17. Pretty handy when he's right for Patrick Payne, dropping out of a Saturday assignment across in Adelaide.
Yeah, kept closing there on a very wet track. It was heavy tan, but she's a good wet tracker. So her run prior to that, you have to say Lightning Man was a lot better, but she may have just had an off day. Her other form's quite solid.
Empress of the Sun is the favourite here in your mix, and lightly raced 5-year-old man.
Yeah, she's on the up as well. It's only had the 11 starts. You mentioned that. She's been to staying trips 3 times. She's run well in all of those. She'll handle the ground and with no weight, dangerous.
And they're set for the 4th with Matt.
Lightning Man a little bit agitated in barrier number 4 and attended with that runner. Racing. Aberfeldy boy from the centre away. Okay. Jumping well, Lightning Man, with Sitsa over on the rails. Empress of the Sun boots up with also Diago Frod. So the favourites are up there. Then Schultze, Urban Outlook. And behind them, Winter Grace. And then Oma Mori deeper with the green distinguishing cap. A gap to JK Ann and Customer Service slots over to the rails at the tail of the field as they complete the first 250 metres. So Diago Frod off the rails is just the leader. Shading at the moment Lightning Man. They're not going hard, and Lightning Man is going to kick up and lead it. Then Empress of the Sun, the outside at the post. They were followed by Sitsa the inside, out 3 deep Aberfeldy boy. A length and a quarter to Schultz and Urban Outlook from Oma Mori, and then came Winter Grace, Customer Service, JK Ann as they leave the running. Tightly packed group here with no pressure on. 1,700 metres to go and beyond. It's Lightning Man by 3/4 of a length, the Arco Frod. Third on the fence is Sitsa and then came Empress of the Sun, who's just getting up on the steel. Aberfeldy boy around it. Over the crossing, 1,500 metres from home. Schultz the outside of Urban Outlook, and then came Oma Mori. 3 wide with a little bit of cover. A length and a quarter, Winter Grace, and then came JK Ann, and Customer Service bailed away on the fence last of all. So they make their way towards the 1,200 metres at an even speed, where Lightning Man is the leader by a length, the Arco Frod. Aberfeldy boy is facing the breeze out wider. Sitsa passes 4th to fence, and then came in the centre Empress of the Sun. A length and a half, Oma Mori, followed by Urban Outlook 1,000 metres from home. Next in the field is Schultze deeper, a length and a quarter, JK Ann, Customer Service, and Winter Grace. So Lightning Man, the former British galloper, has had no pressure up front, runs off the back section at the 800 metres from Diaco Frod. Then came Aberfeldy boy, Sitsa and now Oma Mori. Satellite 4 deep the outside from Empress of the Sun. Next in the field is JK Ann, who's going to try and follow Oma Mori around them, and now the race is on. So at the 500, Aberfeldy boy, Diaco Frod get to Lightning Man with Oma Mori setting them alight. 2 further back is Empress of the Sun, a gap JK Ann, Schultze, Sitsa and Urban Outlook. Niarco Frod with the advantage of the inside, boots through, and at the 300 metres just led Aberfeldy boy and Oma Mori, followed by Empress of the Sun, who still stays on from Schultze. Niarco Frod, Williams wields the whip at the 200 metres, a good buffer, 2 lengths and a half now to Oma Mori, Empress of the Sun and Schultze. Niarco Frod with 50 metres to go is clear. Second up fitter, and Niarco Frod won. Diaco Frod from Empress of the Sun, Schultze, Oma Mori. A gap Aberfeldy boy, then Customer Service. A gap to JK Ann, Winter Grace, Urban Outlook, Lightning Man, and Sitsa along last.
First Australian win at its 7th Australian start today for Diaco Frod and under Craig Williams. It pays a 3 Ranger top pick across the tote skater.
Yeah, just pulled the wrong rein with our best, but yeah, it's really a one-horse race, wasn't it? Gee, I loved the way, raced away, and was only third up here, third run of the gelding, and relished this trip. Former and Chocolates is great for this grade of race. So I think he's the one heading somewhere out of these with respect, and I think the win had some merit too. They wound up early and probably forced to go a little bit earlier than what he wanted, Craig Williams, but no, far too good.
7, 9, 10, 11 in for 4th. We've reached the halfway point of Sandown. Main quaddy starts with the next 9th event. Capalabar is our next. Lucky Last. Extreme Grunt is the favourite in the pink row. $1.25 in.
Hmm. Six, 7, 9, 13. 6, 7, 9, 13. 16, 17, 19. 16, 17, 19. All scratched. 11, 15, 1, and 8. So, this one is a little weird. I can't figure out, but it's a 1300 meter benchmark 66. So that's a 63, which is the top weight. Capability is 63. Problem is definitely jog. And it is jumping 8 steps up, 8.5 steps up, okay, from the previous one. Which actually says it is a very good horse, which is what we can see, 8.5 steps up from gate number 11. Now this one, the 11, there are two things. The jockey has never raced here, okay? The jockey has never raced here. Though it is lower than this in every corner, every way, but it is still the top weight with the capability. So that's the capability. Now everything that is happening, if you look at what is happening, is we have to have the capability right? So the 7 won, okay? The 12 was nowhere. That was a 53. This was a 53, and then this one was with the form line, which actually went through with the job a 1. So this one is the thing. Then it came to these two horses. They did not get there. Okay, so higher the jockey weight, higher the jockey weight in terms of this particular number, this becomes a problem. But here everybody is like that almost. If we look at smallest, from the smallest, they are, this one is a negative leverage 15, which is good, is a 54 1.5. So jumping 1.5, but those are basically the fact is this, that those are the body weight is here 15. 1.5 on a 54 makes it a linear, and 1 is from gate number 11, which is going to run neutral. So is it overestimating? In that case, it will drop. This is still 60, 60 from 7 steps up, 8. 11 is down. 11 is 60. 60.5 is still lower. Okay, so these are all apprentice jocks. Okay, I just checked. If you look at these jocks, they are all apprentice. They're all apprentice jocks. Look at, here is the thing. Plus it's a heavy 9, so we're taking that also, but we'll see. So we're at race 5, okay? Race 5. So if you look at these guys, all right, starting from 1, 2, 4, 14, and 5. 1, 2, 4, 14, and 5. 1 apprentice, 2 apprentice, 4 apprentice, 14 apprentice, 5 apprentice. Okay, then check 3, 12. These are also on the higher end. 3 apprentice, 12 is not. From here, okay, 12 is not. 12 is not. 11 is apprentice. 11 is apprentice. 11 is apprentice. 12 is not. 8 is not. So this one is, that's why it is showing like that. They're all apprentice. They have issues. That's why the things are like that. So now the 11 is an apprentice jock, which is the favorite. And he has not raced here. So now the question is, what will happen here? Is it going to go to the apprentice jocks? Ten, 15, 18. These are the best jocks, probably. 10 is also apprentice. 15, 18. So 10. Is competing here. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. This one is tricky. It's either here and it will do fantastic, whether it is apprentice or not. We will see that what happens. Okay, it's either here because that's the top weight. All right, it's either there or it is going to go wrong. 11 is also apprentice. I have a feeling about the 15, which might be there. The 15 is it apprentice? No, J. Childs. So 15 is J. Childs, not apprentice. But this thing is going to go very bad. It's not only that, Jimmy. It is a different kind of a stuff. I was thinking, why is it like so crazy up here? Then when I looked at it, it is like all apprentice jocks. So what exactly are we looking at? I don't know. Maybe even they are also. This is, see, this horse is fantastic. Okay, if this wins, this wins. But the jock is an apprentice jock from gate number 11. God knows what he will do from there. So I don't know. This practically is going crazy. The 11 that they're talking about is okay, but then comes the 8, which is the second linear, and the 15, which is the first linear, which is okay. But here it is a 54, and then this one is a 60, which is staying, all right, and this one is dropping out. So either it is here, the second linear wins. Why? Because this genius is not 8, is not an apprentice jock, is going to run well, but it is from gate number 15. Okay, plus it doesn't have the form line to compete, but the rest everything doesn't make sense. Here it is all apprentice guys, all of them. Only here where it makes a little sense. These are okay, but they also fall. So here it is stable with a guy who is also stable. And the rest is all monkey business. There's nothing oddly about it. It is well planned, Jimmy. That's the purpose. They're going to serve their purpose. Okay, we'll see how the purpose is being served. How the purpose is being served. Nothing happens randomly, Jimmy. Nothing happens randomly. These horses are all computers. These horses are all like, MacBook. They work exactly how you make them work. They work exactly. There's not a single bit of confusion. The confusion arises because of two factors. One is the market, what the market is saying. And the second thing is whether the jock is going to be able to deliver that. These are the two confusing areas. So market we cannot handle. We are trying to solve the part of the jock. if we are able to solve the jock, whether the jock is compatible, like here. I mean, the 12 was a 53, did not go through 57. We were looking at 5, which is a 56. That did not work. So what happened basically is the 7 won. Why? Because it was like that. Okay, it was stable here. It was 57. Now they are with bad jocks. They did not do anything. 7 won. Then it came here. Okay, because that was the other lowest drop. And then it is between these two horses with jocks. But here everything else was 53, 54, 55, then a 7-year-old mare. So they all get knocked out. They get knocked out. Okay. I mean, after the races, it is easy to read what happened. After the races, it is easy to read what happened. It's very easy. Why 7 won is because it's a 57 and the jockey was higher than this. This was a 51, did not win, but it had a very good form line. But that's the reason why it did not win. Okay. This was not chasing. It was stable there. It was chasing 2.5. Jockey was given 2.5, but the jockey was like that. And here the jockey is like that. Even though they had better jocks, but the horses were actually like that. Okay, 53, 56, and 4-year-old, 6-year-old, no form line, all that thing happened. Here, right now it is very easy. Right now it is very hazy. But right after the races, it will be very clear. Then we will be talking about why the one won, because it is the top weight, or we will be talking about why they did not win and why the 8 won. So we are going to be talking about these two things. Okay. Right now the confusion is here, whether, I mean, they're all apprentice jocks. But the top weight is here. On a 1300 meter, that should be the winner. But that's like that. He's the biggest monkey in the field. Yes, bro. I mean, after the races, when you look at it, it becomes very easy. Okay. After the races, when you look at it, it becomes very easy. Why the 12 did not win? Because that's a 53 with a drop. What kind of a moron would go like that? But that's a Wednesday result. Okay. This thing, we will check what happens when it is a Saturday. Why the 9 did not win? Because that's a 51. The capability is 51. Driving 2.5 steps up and becoming 53.5. Why the 7 won? Because the 7 is already a 57. Capability is 57. The jockey is better. And it won. So what it means is we can completely forget about this particular channel. But that's not the scene. We can't forget about this particular channel. We have to take a scene. So now if you look at the numbers, they all make sense. Okay, they all make sense. They all make sense. It is just that we can't make a sense out of it before the races. That's where we miss. And that's exactly where it needs to be worked out. So that it can make sense before the races, not after the races. I mean, every time when I look at the races after they're over and I'm running it through the server, I'm like banging my head on the wall. How could I make a mistake like that? Why didn't I look at it? What was I doing? But I guess that's the part which needs to be dealt with. Off we do.
Certainly a forgive run last time at Maui. On the run prior to that, she was terrific from the back. She gets the claim, I think she's way over the odds to 10. As is Cindy Falls, who's well up to these. And she could do with another win, but she's got some mates in this race. Proven Soul ran into an informed horse 2 runs ago. Another sound effort latest, first and third since unplaced. But look, she maps for a good run from that inside draw, and the inside looks to be holding up okay. Gee, tough start to the quaddie here. 8, 10, 4, 15.
Let's have a look at what's happening late with the bookies. Forever with Ned is $4.60 into $4.40. Proven
Even he's talking about
$5.50. CPAM $6.50 into 7. There's support for number 4 in the Gately mix. Cindy Falls $11 into $9.50, and Divine Thoughts number 5 is attracting interest. And it's $11 into $8.50 off that last start win on the Ballarat Synthetic. Went second up. What's the read on Divine Thoughts, Gator?
Yeah, look, she did a good job there. She had some pressure. She kicked on doing well. She was wide first up, and not all that far off Next Step either. Who went around as a hot favourite at Caulfield on Saturday. Ran well, didn't win. Ran third there, but it's probably the right form, or at least strong form, for this grade of race. And she handled the heavy track that day.
Only other little nibble is for Hot Chips number 2, and it's into $13 off $14. Tempranillo as your
Absolutely,
top
Jimmy.
bookies. $7 out to $9, resuming with a very good overall record.
Yeah, look, she's in the Quinella 6 of 9, isn't she? And had certainly a forgive run or two in there. So the overall CV's good. Would have liked to have seen a market push the other way. Look, hasn't been a great swoopers day yet, but as I say, I think she'll end up the best horse.
A spot in your top 4 for the favourite Forever with Ned off that last start Wangaratteri win. What's the read?
We'll text you, Jimmy.
I don't know what to do with her, to be honest. She's drawn the car pace, got a young apprentice on board. I think they'll go forward to offset that. What I do know is she'll handle the ground. She seems really adept on these very wet tracks.
Let's get trackside as we start the main quaddie. Here's Matt Hill.
Trained by Paddy Payne at Plumpton. So, firstly of the quaddie, sure putters would be pretty happy to get past this first hurdle. Forever with Ned comes in, and the field locked away. 1300, race number 5. Sets, gates are back and away. Tempranillo missed the kick 3/4 of a length. Impending Diamond back to second last. Beginning well, Hot Chips with also Divine Thoughts out past the middle to go to the lead. From Forever with Ned, and they were followed by the inside Proven Soul, Hot Chips, May Keffy, and that's all good. A line of 4 behind the leaders. They were followed by Cindy Falls, and next is Sea Poem, a length and a half away in the field. Drone Attack, Russian Benefits, and then came along the inside Impending Diamond trying to check off heels, and Tempranillo is last. Off the back section, Divine Thoughts is the leader, 750 out by a length and a quarter. That's all good, and they're 2.5 lengths in front of Proven Soul, and Forever with Ned is fourth one off the fence as they run past the 500. They're 2.5 lengths in front of Hot Chips, May Keffy, really stringing out this field. Then Sea Poem, Cindy Falls a mile back with Russian Benefits, Drone Attack, Tempranillo, and also well back in the field Impending Diamond. So Divine Thoughts, 350 metres to go, tries to shake off. That's all good. They're a long way in front of Proven Soul into the clear. Then came Forever with Ned and Hot Chips. That's all good. Moves up to Divine Thoughts. 200 metres to go. Sea Poem from the clouds. Kicking Divine Thoughts from That's All Good, who's run its race. Sea Poem coming at Divine Thoughts. Divine Thoughts staggering. Sea Poem won't get there. Divine Thoughts a big win from
5-1.
Sea Poem. They were followed in third by Proven Soul. Then May Keffy, Tempranillo, Impending Diamond, Drone Attack. That's all good. Run a big race at a big price, 80 to 1. They were followed further back in the field by Russian Benefit, Cindy Falls, and Forever with Ned at the tail of the field.
I talked about it pre-races, having some support. Go to Divine Thoughts, which goes from a Ballarat synthetic win to a win on the grass at Sandown and paying $9.40 and $3.20.
Yeah, they backed a few in that, didn't they, at all sorts of prices. So, look, that sort of race, not many new...
So 5, then 1, then I think it is 10. Five, 1, 15. 5, 1, 15. So why 5? Now let's decipher the fact. Why 5? Because he was the biggest monkey. We cannot handle. Out of all those monkeys, that was the lowest. And that was on a 61 chasing this 8.5. Did not happen. That is it. So now it becomes easier, right, to understand. 5, 1. Only the 5-year-old knows. Yes. We'll go to the next. 6. Huge scratching. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 10, 12, 16. 7, 10, 12, 16. 18 and 20. 18 and 20, all scratched. 13, 19, 11, and 9. 11 should win. 11 should win. We'll see how that works. Eleven should win. It's 58. That's the jock. Okay. We'll see how that works. 11 should win. Good night. Good night. Gate. I'll be back in a jiffy from the washroom. Okay, I'm back. Good night, Jimmy.
Centurio just needs to relax earlier in the races than what we saw last time. The Warrnambool win too, they had merit on very wet ground. Has run well behind some handy ones as well. Humza Bay, certainly think so, and many others. So we are 11, 9, 13, 19.
90 seconds away. Let's have a look at the bookies. This looks a lot more settled. Humza Bay is $3.60 into $3.20 as the favourite. Cinderado, number 13 for Logan Bates, is $4.40. $4.80 back into $4.40. Wolfie, $7.50 into $6.50. Jugi on the on top of Gator, $6 to $6.50. The rest double figures. The only two nibbles. Tories D number 8, 16 to 15. And Mr. Exclusive number 14, 20 into $19. Best back to be Humza Bay, former Kiwi. It's placed 1 of 2 in Australia so far for Price and Kent, resuming with the crossover noseband first time Gator and 2 Cranbourne jump outs, winning the most recent.
Yeah, he looked good in the latest trial, no doubt. He's been on heavy ground twice in his life at home in New Zealand, and he's won them both and won them well. So no worries about him, wet ground. And his first Australian prep, he showed plenty, big danger.
Cinderado best back to beat it, dropping out of Saturday grade behind a smart one in Clever Trevor.
Yeah, he wasn't beaten far. And Clever Trevor went on to win again and beat another promising one. So I think he's just got to learn to harness that energy better early, which he can. He's certainly capable of, and he'll handle the ground well, given the Warrnambool win on that bottomless track.
Wolfie spec with the bookies as well is also in your mix for Brad Rawiller.
Yeah, it'd be a nice result for the quad if we're already in it, if we're still alive anyway. Look, he can do with another win, but he's going really well. He just needs, the breaks to come, given his racing pattern.
Here's Matt for the 6th.
Cincherato, the 2 OTI runners, chances in the race. Good locked away. Race 6, and away they go. And Wolfie's missed the kick by a couple of lengths, and Tanganyika as well back in the field too. Beginning well was Bind, Mr. Exclusive, Tories D on the outside and punching up on the fence, Regal Secret to lead the race outright. Jugion got to fifth, followed by Humza Bay, Cincherado. Two further back in the field is Wolfie trying to improve its position. Also in that clump of horses, Think So and Tanganyika has tacked on but is over racing on the rails. 800 metres to go. Tories D the leader by a length and a quarter. Regal Secret second. Bide is next, and then came Mr. Exclusive wider. A length and a half, Jugi on the fence, and they were followed by Humza Bay. Then the next line, Think So, 4 deep around Wolfie, Tanganyika, and last of all, Cincherado. Up around the turn, the leader, Tories D, as they reach the 400 metres marginally off the fence, followed by Regal Secret the outside. There's a run, if good enough, for Humza Bay, right up on the Dulux, along with Tanganyika. They were followed by Jugi on Bind, Cincherado down the outside. Humza Bay drove through, took the front, 200 metres to go, put up a good buffer, 3 lengths, Cincherado and Wolfie down the outside. But it's Humza Bay in front with 50 metres to go. And Humza Bay for a very keen Craig Williams, a length and a quarter Wolfie. Third, Cincherado. They were followed by Jugion, Regal Secret, Think So, Tanganyika, Tories D, a gap to Bind, and Mr. Exclusive at the end of the field.
Craig Williams gets a double. Humza Bay gets its first Australian win, and the former Kiwi has now won 3 of 5 in a brief career as a lightly raced 4-year-old, and a lovely return win there, Gator.
Yeah, was that. Likes the trial into that, and 3 for 3 on heavy ground now. So dead set, loves these conditions. Plenty more wet tracks in his future, I'm sure. Wolfie and Cincherado, terrific from the back. There has to be a winning Wolfie soon, for sure. He's going. We just ran into a really promising import there.
19 beats 9, 13 third, and 11 runs fourth. 6 down, 2 to come. Lakeside track action this afternoon from Sandown. Fifth event on the Q1 Lakeside is a couple of minutes away. It starts the quaddie, and it's next on.
Boy. Right. So that happened there. The 19 won. Which happened. We go to the next. What? Jesus Christ. Give me one moment, gentlemen. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. All right, gentlemen, there's a thing which is happening here in my area. They're announcing about power cut. They are going to cut the electricity here in my area for a while. I'm not sure for how long, but they're going to cut it. And they're making that announcement as we speak, and I think we have to call it a day today, because if we continue and if they cut the power, we will be offline anyways, and we will not be able to do anything. So since they're already announcing that they're going to be cutting the power, I think we should call it a day. I'll resume back on Saturday. Anyway, today it is a heavy track. Things are not working according to our plan, but we'll see what we have on Saturday. We'll take a quick look and see what do we have on Saturday. Gate, I'm really sorry about this. I think what has been happening is there's a lot of weather change. It has been raining, and there's a lot of trees which has fallen, and due to which I think in my area there are few overhead lines, electricity lines. They have got disconnected and all that, so they're trying to fix that. They're making that announcement as we speak. So I don't think there's any point moving ahead today, because they will do that in any moment. But for Saturday, I think we have Rose Hill and Flemington. Both, I think we will go with Flemington if everything is suitable, and then we'll see how things work. And I want to thank everybody who's been watching this stream. It means a lot to me, and we're a channel. We do horse racing analytics purely based on mathematics and physics. There's no hope, there's no guessworks that we do, but we're building it from the scratch. There is nothing to refer to. We're just trying to build it up, and maybe in some time we will be able to work with this as a software. So thank you gentlemen for being there. It is a pleasure. Thank you so much for all the support, but we will have to call it a day today. And I want to thank everybody who's been there. Gate, thank you so much for being there and understanding. Gate, I'm really sorry about this, what is happening right now, but thank you so much for being there, my friend. Jimmy, thank you so much for being there, my friend. I know you've left, but thank you so much. I'll see you on Saturday. Till then, stay blessed.